guys? Welcome to DoubleTap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. And for those watching us live on Twitch, welcome to DoubleTap Live. Powered right here outside of local host arena in Philadelphia, PA by the Nerd Street Gamers. I am your host, Andres Crashtag Morenes, and with me, my partner in crime, my teammate in BB Tag, Jeremiah Mezzaward. What's up, homie?
Not much, man. What's good?
Good, brother. Good, brother. Yo, we have a pretty cool episode going on this week. It's pre-E3 hype. The FGC is definitely not immune.
I'm kind of glad I'm not going to E3.
Why?
I actually want to sit in front of a TV for once and not be at something and like enjoy it. You ever notice that when you go to like stuff like E3, you don't? I feel like you miss things.
Sometimes, yeah.
Events, so it's like for once, I love sitting down and hitting up somebody. Like, yo, did you see what happened? Yo, come over.
Or doing it live with the homies. Yeah, that's always a good feeling. But thank you for those that are watching live here and those that are also watching on the road, going to your tournaments, going to your weeklies, or going to the homies' house for some dumpling sessions. For tuning in, this is a podcast dedicated to everything fighting game community, where we talk about tech, where we talk about what's new, what's possibly going to be new, what's hot, and a little bit of drama salted right on. So we're going to get started real quick. But for one, I want you guys to follow DoubleTap FGC. That's this show right here. And follow Nerd Street Gamers on Twitter. Whenever we post up, get ready for the show, or even have some little updates or hints towards the show, you can catch it live right there. But we're going to jump right into it, man, because we got a lot.
Yeah.
So Fighter's Corner.
Oof.
If you're new, this is our segment where we're talking about every single type of fighting game out there, scenes. Sometimes we don't hit every single one, but there's so many. But the news,
Sorry, Smash. That's really
no,
what
Smash is going to get hella coverage post E3
Look,
because
we've been touching it.
June 12th. Remember June 12th? They're going to have that invitational tournament, so we're going to see a lot.
The invitational. Oh, okay. So I might get some scoops. I'll let you know what I can do.
Okay, got to get a little dirt. But we're going to jump right into what's the new hotness, which is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Don't get it for the PC.
There you go. I was this close. This close to buying it on the PC. Then I saw that I was seeing on my feeds that people were complaining about it. Have you seen? I haven't confirmed it yet because I didn't install it. I don't know what the PC issue is right now.
So currently, I was gonna get it for PC as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, let me just hold off. We're gonna play it at the session. We'll see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody actually brought their laptop, and they said on their desktop it runs pretty fairly smooth, but on their laptop, 18 frames. It was like something was unoptimized.
Was it an old laptop? Hold on, was that laptop optimized?
It was like fancy, nice new ones with some solid stuff in it.
Solid stuff in it. You can tell Mezza does IT. Some solid stuff. It's got a good chipset.
Look, when you work all day, looking at a computer not doing anything.
All right. If he had what are the minimum specs? While you're ranting about it, let me look up the minimum specs.
I sat there and I watched him load it up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has no problem playing Dragon Ball on his computer. He has no problem playing Guilty Gear on his computer.
Okay.
So you would think Blaze Blue Cross Tag is not that intense compared to those other games. And it felt like his computer was like, no, 18 frames is where you need to stay at. And it wasn't just him though. There was other people who were having issues with frame lags as well. So there was like dropping of frames. I don't know if there was anything else specifically outside of that. But they said the port was not good on a lot of standpoints.
All right. Actually, you know what? Let me check the Steam. I want to Steam will tell you right on the spot. But yeah, that was the first thing I heard was not unoptimized, but just people were having issues in general. So let's take a look. All right. So Steam here is stating minimum requirements. Doesn't have a recommended for some reason, but at a minimum, we're talking i5, i7. Okay,
yeah.
Duh. You want quad core, 4 gigs of RAM, pretty standard. 64-bit system needs at least 4 gigs of RAM. GTX 650 or R7 250 or better.
Low.
That is a couple of generations behind. But mind you, this is minimum specs, so that might be, at low settings to boot. Broadband internet, 20 gigs of space, nothing too crazy.
I don't see how that can't run on most stuff should be able to run like that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a little baffling because if people are having issues with a port that ArcSys did, considering usually they
XRD wasn't like the
it
best
wasn't
port,
great,
but I didn't hear anything about Fighters either. Like was Fighters did that have
Fighters had its issues.
It did, right? Okay.
It had specifically issues when people were streaming, so that was the only real times. Actually, the PC version is considered to be the better out of all the versions right now.
Oh,
okay. So I think it's just an early release thing that people are seeing some issues, which is fine because ArcSys normally doesn't release their games early.
But at the same time, we should have a fully working game as soon as it's released.
Totally agree with you. Considering Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody's safe, brother. Sorry.
they held
Nobody's-
back their deal.
Neither's NRS. NRS had a butt-ass
those
MKX when that dropped on PC. Atrocity. Atrocitus incarnate is what MKX was.
That was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So as of right now, currently BB Tag is not looking too hot on PC. I mean, from what I saw, what some people were using, 1050 Ti, like nothing extraordinary.
Yeah.
It is a 2D game at the end of
Simple.
the day. You're not 3D graphics in the background. You want that 60 frames. Okay, you bump it up a little bit, but it really shouldn't be that hard to
I feel
play.
like we moved away from what we used to do, where we used to have that PS3 version and then that PS4 version. I liked when Guilty Gear XRD did that the first time, where they had the different modes for PS4.
Oh, yeah.
So you could switch back to like that classic PS3 mode. I don't know why that was in it, but it was an option, I guess. So, but overall, like PS4 version plays smooth, plays clean. I have no issues. It's like picking up the beta with the rest.
Yeah,
of the
that was the
characters.
other thing. I was asking a couple of players, like, hey, have you noticed any changes since the beta? Because sometimes there might be those like little hidden tweaks that they don't state. Because it's not really a balance patch. It's just being a day one patch. Nothing. I haven't heard anything like no combos that don't work, that worked in the beta don't work now. I haven't heard frame issues or anything like that in terms of like, the move sets. So what we played in the beta was basically the final
I've still
version.
heard people complain that they wish damage was a little bit less.
Higher?
Less.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
I'm-
perfectly fine.
I'm hearing maybe it's intended with that, but I'm hearing people are calling out for 3 out of 5 in tournament. But then people are literally, guys that are playing it are kind of like, no,
using
2 out of 3 is okay. Because I thought the game was fast enough. It's like, if you look
It
at
can
Marvel
get
3,
fast.
you could just like win like that, right?
Well, I mean, it's just like Marvel. If you're not learning how to play the game, you're not using every tool in the game. Granted, Marvel, you just had to eat a mix-up sometimes.
Yeah, that was it. 50-50. Oh, I'm not playing anymore.
In this game, there's tools to get out of these bad situations. So people learn how to play neutral, learn how to use your tools. Guess what? You shouldn't be taking like 50% and then looking at your character like,
So
What
2 out of 3. So 2 out of 3
Two
is
out-
still
I think
looking
2 out of
solid.
3
I hear that we're just like at the cusp, but 2 out of 3 is just fine.
they need to just chill, let it ride for at least like 2 or 3 months before Evo.
Mm-hmm.
Really see if we need it. I don't think we do. I personally, this game is stressful enough with getting touched.
Mm-hmm.
It's like playing Marvel, and you don't need to play. I don't think the flow of the game allows you to play 3 out of 5.
Okay.
There's more than enough time on the clock.
Okay. I asked the known timeout cats, like Initial J here, that in
And he did
Eunice he always timed out.
I mean,
But he even said like, no, you can't do that like in this game, especially against characters like Waldstein. Like you can't just go in.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to stop. You
like,
can't turn your brain off.
when I played Flux, I felt like we would go down to like the last 80 seconds in one.
That's what he
match.
said. He said he
Yeah.
kept stating 80 seconds. We're talking 180 seconds. I think is the rounds, right? So 3 minutes. A little higher than your traditional 99. So I think that kind of like balances itself out right there. So okay, so 2 out of 3 seems to be good. You guys tell us if you feel like 2 out of 3 is good. But on top of that, we actually also have some rumored DLC. So there has been, I think this was on the Switch, the US eShop. So yeah, I guess this was on this is on the
So it's
Switch.
the Switch.
So we had some day one characters already dropped, like Blake and stuff like that. Already, bam.
So we got
But
our
like they
Blake.
said, like as soon as the game dropped, here you go, free DLC, enjoy it. But then we actually got to see on the shop, someone managed to take the most rudimentary of screenshots ever. But I mean, it's a Switch. What can you expect of the DLC? We already know what the DLC is, but the main thing is, like I said, the dates. So we're talking Yang, Xiaolong. That's one. Is that one?
So
person?
yeah, she's just one character.
Okay.
That's her full name.
So on the 19th, we're talking. What's today?
So today would be, I believe, the
Today's the
5th,
6th.
6th? Okay.
Today's the 6th. By the way, this podcast will be released on the 7th. Today's the 6th, so we're talking 2 weeks out. We're actually not even just them. So Jubei, Algis, Carmine as well on the 19th. Actually, yeah, most of these are 19. Jubei Alba 19, and then Hakumen, Naoto, and Batista are also going to be the 19th. So a nice 3 packs.
Which is
3
kind of
pack
nice.
of characters. Then additional ones. They didn't state who, but it did say when. So we're talking August, so that's post-Evo. Yeah, it's actually, 2 of them are going to be post-Evo, and then 1 in beginning of September. So real close within each other, 2 weeks, just about.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to allow all of them to be viable, but I would see why not.
In tournament?
I want to just say let them just be viable, because at this rate, I
but
mean,
it's
well,
the
one that comes
standard.
out the 4th. The one that comes out on the 4th, because that's the same week as Evo.
As what?
The
September 4th?
No, the one that said August.
Oh yeah.
So on August 4th.
Oh, sorry. August is
Yeah, because
August 6th. Yeah, you're right. You're
that's
right.
the
I keep
week
thinking,
of my birthday. So
I thought Evo was in July for some reason too.
Yeah.
It's at the end of July. No, it's at the end of July into August, isn't it? July 31st to the 3rd.
The first week of August.
Okay.
Because it's during my birthday. That's how I
Okay,
know.
so it won't be in time. So we're only
Yeah.
going to have the 3 packs. We already know what characters are going to be released. So we'll have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Should have
6, 7, 8.
Eight.
No, 8. It's 8 characters. So 8 characters it's within the times. Actually, yeah, it's within the time
Yeah.
where you get more than a month in. So they will
Exactly.
most likely be legal for Evo.
They better be because there's one character on that. Well, either 2 on there that I'm definitely playing, so they have to make it.
Who?
So because I play Blake, I need a character that covers that. I'm either playing Batista or Carmine.
Okay. I saw some of that Blake tech with the mist and stuff. I actually kind of want to pick her up.
I'm waiting for you to play so I can
Shout
steal
out,
your tech.
shout outs to all the guys that hit me up on Twitter after I kind of posted. I was kind of in a crisis. I'm getting that itch, man, to play again, right? And with that, I got some certain things I got to get ready for if I'm going to decide to play. So I thought, okay, what do I want to try out? XRD or BB Tag? XRD, I'm a biking fiend. I enjoyed playing her. She's in there. I really like Potenkin. Shout out to my boy Cloud. Because he just makes it look so much fun. And Johnny. I could just be Johnny and be stupid top tier if I want, right?
Yeah.
But then with BB Tag coming out, those were my 2 choices because everyone seems to be wanting to play. It's a new hotness. Why not jump and play with everybody else?
Plus then you're on the same page as everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone kept telling me BB Tag. Like, everyone kept telling me BB Tag.
It's more down your route, in my opinion.
Rumors hearing that this is going to be a new XRD, or excuse me, a new Guilty Gear around the corner as well.
Damn, I feel like it's so soon, but it's not.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, shout outs to you guys on Twitter that decided to hit me back with that. But yeah, so right now, Blaze Blue Cross Tag is out. Many people are playing it right now here on our Wednesday training round. By the way, if you're in the tri-state area, come out to this. Get your level up on. And it's still, so we're really not going to hear anything until maybe next week or at least the next Go for Broke, which will be July 19th, where we're going to see our first tournament for BB Tag here.
First official
release. We did the beta tournament, which was still fun.
Yeah.
But, we had to take that with a grain of salt. But other than that, hey, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle's out. It's kind of crazy that it's finally out.
It doesn't. I feel like there's games that are out, and it just feels like it's still overwhelming.
Time just flew by for that one.
It still it really
I remember
did.
Evo Japan, and they were still promoting it like crazy. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a while. We don't know if this game's even Evo viable.
Yeah, and that's
which, by the way, people seem to like it. So that means there's no doubt right now that it's not a stupid game, but there's no doubt that it's okay, cool, put it in Evo because
everybody has said, why did I give my
good.
money to this game? And then they say, but I like playing it. It's so much fun.
There you
So.
go. So besides Blaze Blue Tag Battle, we do have some DLC to show off, or rather some rumored DLC that's been data mined for Tekken 7.
This is the week of everything getting data.
Yeah. DLC week. This is DLC week. We have DLC that's been released, DLC that's being data mined, DLC that's being leaked, and some wanted DLC, I guess you can say that one. Yeah. So the Steam database, if you don't know, you can mine and look at the different files and stuff and updates that happen to them. We have 8 new entries.
That's a lot.
Entrances. Entrance? Entrance, thank you.
Yeah, entrance.
That were added to the Tekken 7 Steam database. Yeah, all at once. So instantly people are thinking characters. They could be just just as you see here, there's different Noctis Lucio Column pack, Tugis Howard pack. We've got Eliza pre-order pack. So these are characters, but I think they could even be costumes even.
Yeah,
it says right there, Tekken Bowl and additional costumes. But I don't know if they're going to be knocking out 8 different costume packs. This isn't DOA.
I think they would do some costumes, maybe some stages, something like that.
So one of the big things that also kind of pushes this is there was a tweet by Wonky back in January about some other images that were found within the data, the game data, included some sprays, or rather stickers, excuse me. Tekken 7. I cannot remember her name.
That's Anna.
That's Nina's sister, right? Yeah, that's Anna. And, we have Marduk, decal, which Marduk is not in 7 currently. So it's
Isn't Gigantus in this game? No, he was in only a Tekken Tag tournament, too.
Gigantus?
What is his name?
With the tentacles and stuff?
Yeah.
No, that's 7.
Because that was
no, that's 7.
Really?
Yeah.
People play that character, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
They do. But no, he's here. So they're just backing up, the actual claims of those decals being part of the actual DLC or the data that's being shown here on the stream database. Y'all good? Y'all good? Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, so they're basically reporting that, stating this is like going to be coherent with it. So I mean, we don't know. This is just an update. There hasn't been any announcement. Harada did state, shout outs once again, did state that there are plenty that they're hiding from us.
Yeah,
so
no, that's smart.
And Evo's around the corner, so why not like announce a brand new maybe bunch of characters all at once? That's kind of where they get the most hype. They did Geese last. Was it Geese or Noctis?
No, they did.
They
Noctis.
did like Noctis
was
last year.
at the World.
Was at the World Tournament. You're right, at the World Tournament.
At Evo
Geese was Evo.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
I think honestly the best thing they could do is hide, but when they release whoever they're gonna release, it needs to be a really really like wanted character, because I think someone like Marduk isn't really that wanted in my opinion. I think there's other characters such as like Anna who's more wanted.
The more popular characters that didn't make the cut.
Julie or Julia, one of them. So I definitely think Roger, because people have asked for Roger.
Okay.
I know they may not, because the whole kangaroo.
Or they might just have completely new characters.
Which would
Whatever.
be cool.
I'm down. I'm down for either. Any new content is always good. I mean, they're still working on Tekken 7, still waiting on that Tekken X Street Fighter.
Whatever the hell that's.
I remember there was like a small, like a little thing they touched on. Like it is in the works. It stopped development at one point.
Because they had like Ryu doing.
That was like so long ago.
Wasn't that when Cross Tag came
That was
out?
before 7 was like a
Street
thing.
Cross Tekken.
I think that was before 7 was even a thing.
That was like 2000. I want to say 2010. No,
not
2008,
10, like 11 or 12.
No, I thought it was way before that.
How's it 8 if Street Fighter 4 didn't even drop until 9?
Bro, I don't know.
Cross Tag happened, I think 2012. It was like during heyday time. It was like at least 4 years in did we get that. I want to say, off top of the dome. Street Fighter X Tekken was kind of a blur. Everyone played it, but then no one liked it. No one liked the vanilla, but then by the end of the game, it was actually pretty good.
It's just Pandora needed to be fixed. That's all.
Yeah, the timeouts. We talk about timeouts every match.
Timeouts and
every
Pandora.
top 8, there was a timeout for every match. At least one.
I just want people to think about it real quick, and then we're gonna move forward.
Old CVS 2 days.
Why the hell was Pandora in the game? It was literally like a kill yourself type combo thing mechanic. It was like, I'm gonna sacrifice it all to kill myself.
I'm gonna
if
lose
I
it all.
Kill you,
yeah, I don't know.
What, 10 seconds? Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for some characters it worked, but yeah, it was a very weird mechanic. But I liked the design. The designs that you got on the characters was like godlike. It was amazing. But yeah. So besides that, not much else going on for Tekken 7. We talked about the World Championships. How they got announced in Amsterdam. That's going to be fun to watch. Now we have Fighting EX Layer. We do have the release date.
You did say that they were probably going to release a date right after.
It was. I forget who said it, but like I kept seeing June, but somewhere it got dropped that they were looking at late June, and we are correct. June 28th is going to be the actual official release, which is why they're just showing off all those videos. They're just keeping the hype going. So June 28th, you can get yourself all 3 variants of the game, the light, the standard, and then the one with the extra Goki decks that will be eventually developed. Basically the season pass one. So June 28th, gonna look forward to that.
That's right around the corner.
Yep.
So, something to look forward to, indeed.
And now we got Soul Calibur 6.
I purposely did not watch this.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I didn't on purpose because I actually wanted to be like really surprised. And
okay.
I like Maxi as a character, so like.
Spoilers. Maxi got announced.
Damn. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Didn't even get to it. All right.
I was spoiled too when I saw it.
Yeah. So Maxi got announced. I think it was. I think it was right after our show. But Maxi got announced. And he looks pretty solid. Maxi. Dandy of the Seas. Because remember, he is a pirate as well.
He looks a little bit like young Maxi from like Soul Calibur 2.
Little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
So we still got the fast nunchuck swings, of course, known for his speed, massive multi-hitting moves, stancing into like different swings.
It feels like he hasn't really changed.
No.
I mean, like, this is still their favorite. One of the dude who works on the art design, I think it was. Mm-hmm. I think it's still his favorite character, and I think it's the game designer who actually always makes him super overpowered for some reason, but nobody ever really plays him that much.
Yeah.
But
so signs of Bruce Lee still in there. Get the dragon fist. The super is pretty animatic, pretty wild looking.
His art design looks a little bit different though this time around. And I've noticed that it does look a little different. I'm not sure if it's like a bad thing, because every other character has gotten like this nice edgy look to them or younger look. but I feel like Maxi
He
kind of
looks
got like
older.
this weird,
Like I feel like Maxi could be actually
It's like
a little
half and
bit
half.
older. It's kind of weird. Once again, we still have no confirmation as to where in the timeline this is falling.
I'm so confused. I just want a story.
Don't trust me. We're gonna get a story.
I hope honestly.
Gerald from Witcher 3 is in. Oh, from the Witcher series is in it. We're gonna get a hell of a story.
I just want to believe that this story is going to be better than, and I look at it like this. Right now, NRS is at the top of the food
The chain, food
chain when it comes to when it comes
big
to
words, big words.
best
It's okay.
stories.
Yeah, like
know,
we've
and
stated this
driven.
plenty of times before. They keep setting the bar up, and companies have just shown that they're just gonna follow suit because it just works. It's the truth. So Maxi being announced in Soul Calibur, pretty dope. I'm not surprised. He's kind of a fan favorite-ish.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's real quick agile moves. He's got, like I said, his stances that lets him give different follow-ups. His super looked good. But the thing is, we're not seeing, I don't know if in the last trailer we got to see a light-dark variation, kind of like we saw in the early characters.
Yeah.
We didn't see one with Maxi. I don't know if he's like one of those that's in true neutral where he can't get affected by the soul blade.
Yeah,
or so.
I didn't
I
see
don't remember.
anything
I
like
don't
that.
remember the lore behind him, but yeah, we didn't get to see that here. So I don't know if now is he gonna get something that is the equivalent to that, so that way he's not at disadvantage compared to the other characters that can beef up with it. But that's
Real quick, since we don't know where the storyline lands, who do you expect to be a character that comes next, or that you would want to see come next?
We got Taki, so I'm already good.
All right.
Like when she got announced, I was like, cool, we're good. Got Zasalamel. Really, I keep like revolving around Soul Calibur 3 characters more than there. We got Siegfried, we got Nightmare, we got Ivy. Cervantes wasn't shown yet. Ivy's dad.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
He wasn't shown yet. So
I mean, I feel
it's
like
gonna
he
be
has to be
interesting.
in the game regardless.
He's like the Akuma
yeah,
of the game. He's
gonna
always
get
like that
announced at the end.
necessary evil that's always around no matter what. Whether he's actually being evil or not, like
I can
he's
never
always
tell.
around. Well, technically, I guess he was because he wielded the Soul Edge, did all kinds of crazy pirate stuff. And plus, we got more pirates. We got
Yeah.
Maxi there, so I would think. And Ivy, so there's no reason why Cervantes wouldn't be
I
in.
just want to see Talon. Because she's a very big fan favorite, and I'm surprised.
Talon she wasn't a ninja.
Tompus.
Oh, her. Killick's in it, so she should be it. Or am I thinking of? No, that's her. I think that's her that always hangs around with Killick. So I wouldn't be surprised I'd be surprised if she wasn't in it.
Yeah, people would be pretty pissed. The last time they saw her was Soul Calibur 3.
Okay.
2. 3, I think it was.
3. Yeah, she was in 3.
She hasn't been around for a while, and people weren't okay with that.
Sure,
so.
she wasn't in 4.
I don't think to the storyline she wasn't.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that does it for Soul Calibur. So Maxi enters the ring. We're gonna wait to see. Maybe they're gonna do a breakdown with him like they did with the previous
That'd be
character
pretty cool.
sometime this week. So DB Fighters, some DLC got released. Vegito and Fusamasu have been out now for about a week. We got to see the tech that's going on.
Touch of Deaths with every character.
Touch of Deaths. The Vegito 4 or 5 energy blades in one combo by Desk.
You know, I always
the what is it? The combo into grabbing you, into throwing you into an assist, continuing the combo. That was like ridiculous.
I gotta say,
when I saw that, like even the camera, I felt like the camera
Yeah,
did a
you were
double
like-
take
you went
because they were
with it.
like,
You were like,
hold
"Oh."
up, what? Wait, what? They're not on the ground? Excuse me, what? Yeah, that shit was godlike.
I gotta say, I always enjoy watching Desk play a game that, like, I know he's not a competitor, but it's always nice watching him at this point in his career still, where he's able to still produce videos.
As long as there's tech to be made, he will find it and break it.
I feel like everybody else would already have gotten to Desk's level, but no,
No one's
they
getting
just keep like he comes out.
like cats like Marlin Pie like have to like not compete. You have to like get rid of that competitive nature to just only like do techie stuff.
Which is weird. Like, I could never imagine, like, you're just like, all right, I'm going to
some
the lab,
people, dude,
nothing else.
some people are lab monsters, man. You can't like they'll do like the craziest of TAC infinite combos or every TAC direction for every character, but then put them to compete.
They
Like
can't
sure
do
they
it.
could do some good stuff. Like there was that Mexican MVC player who played MODOK,
Are you talking
Doctor Doom.
Are you talking about Fruitsy?
He was he was a lab monster
Yeah.
first. Then when he actually started
He
competing and
slowly,
started doing like the crazy stuff he developed, it was just like
Was it worth it?
it was like an equation. He
Yeah.
every time he got the right variables in, the right move in, like that was it. The equation was complete, and he would just go to town.
That
doing
man was
the
doing
craziest
science
tech.
in his head.
Yo,
like,
it was
science and
godlike
mathematics.
playing MODOK. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it works. So Vegito and Fusamasu are out. General impressions: Zamasu plays or feels the way that is expected. I haven't seen like a lot of competitive play as of yet, but that's shortly gonna change, of course, coming in the coming tournaments. We'll see who decides to pull them out first. I think Vegito's easier to pick up and play.
Yes.
Zamasu, like he has a lot of advanced tech to him.
Yeah, he has a lot of I would say he's more one of the technical set play characters that actually takes a lot of work, because even I'm going through the struggle of picking him up. A lot of people like Sonic Fox, Ray Ray, they all said like they were telling people like drop these characters, just play Zamasu and Vegito. Like, so I feel like there is something there, but what it is, I don't think anybody's figured it out yet. But at least with Vegito's he's kind of clear. Like, you already know what his game plan is. He's not really a set play character. He plays the neutral really, really strong.
Yes.
That's kind of what we're going for.
What he can do is, like, he is just solid. Like, just all around solid. He can kind of mix you up. He doesn't have crazy gimmicks. Like we said, Zamasu, Hellzone Grenade 2.0, flight to, hit string, block you, combos, to then a knockdown to then Hellzone Grenade. Like, that's his gimmick. That's kind of like his win. But he has, a 2L that hits low. He's got some tricks to him if you know how to, like, make it work. Yeah. Vegito can just, if you know the fundamentals, like, you'll be able to make him just work solidly from the strength of that alone.
Absolutely.
He's got one or two small tricks, like, his, like, that pivoting step kick into your foot. His sword, fuzzy guard, fuzzy block, like, instant jump, instant up, like, short to, like, sword,
so
overhead.
We found some stuff
gimmicks.
out about that sword.
Yeah.
That sword's not as good as we thought.
It's weird.
It's
got its own properties on certain things.
It's not a projectile, nor is it a physical attack. Because you can't, if you try to deflect it, say he's doing a block string and he forces you to deflect, because mentally we like to deflect stuff. If you go to deflect it, he can't press a button afterwards, but he's fully, like, you don't deflect it either. You just whiff, and then you get a full punish.
So does he still, he still recovers?
He has to recover. He has to wait until he touches the ground to recover completely.
Oh, you're talking about from the sword? Oh, yeah, the sword, yeah.
The sword is like
from the jump. I thought you were doing on the ground for some reason.
No. The jump sword.
Yes.
You do the jump sword, and unless they block it, because if you block it, then he could do another string or something else. But if he does it and you deflect, you won't even see deflect.
It's almost like you forced him to whiff.
Yeah, and then it's very weird, but they don't consider it a projectile or a physical attack.
Interesting.
It's its own entity.
There's going to be definitely some works on how his counter is working, like what properties hit with what characters and what moves. Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, Vegito, I think he's just solid, easier to pick up, while Zamasu has, like, a little bit more of that learning curve, but he has the tools to be kind of crazy, like to kind of just keep you guessing and keep you, like, scared at the same time.
I will say I think the most technical part about that character, at least when people start to play it more, is the flight unfly. It's not natural. It has, like, a weird timing to it.
Yes.
So
it's
you can't
not
just
like
buffer
you're used to one frame fly on fly.
Exactly.
Deal.
You gotta, like, you can't even buffer it. It's like, because you can,
really?
But you can't. So, like, I've been trying to buffer it, but I get Key Blast that comes out. Mm-hmm. But if you do it a little bit later and buffer it, it's weirdly it'll work. So it's like a very hit and miss thing. I don't know if it's just the way the game's built and with his flight, the way the timing is. But you can't just fly unfly like how we used to in Marvel, where Magneto can do it, Doom can do it. It's not very fluid.
Okay,
that's the best way I could put it.
All right. But yeah, so they're out to the masses. We're gonna wait and see how viable they really will be with assists. I mean, like you said, we got TODs already.
Yeah.
We've got constant pressure from Zamasu. Vegito's just solid. Like, his combo potential is very good. Like I said, once adding with assists, does he suffer once it's one-on-one? I mean, kind of any character does. But I think he's still good even by himself.
We're saying right now, I think that Vegito is an average character, but we think that his footsies might be second best to Kid Buu, which Kid Buu has the best footsies in the game.
Best footsies?
Best footsies.
Where's 21 land? Her neutral is just so good. But is it because of footsies?
She was originally right below Kid Buu.
Oh, so you think Vegito knocked her off of that?
I think he knocks her off. He has a lot of tools, and he kind of just does a lot of things better.
And with her, it weighs a lot on her ability to steal, too.
Yeah.
True that. Good point. But, yeah, so fighters. Well, that is it for fighters. We're going to talk about Street Fighter 5. Not much as well kind of going on here with Evo being around the block. We just got a quick announcement of a new fight money costume.
It's so weird.
We're reaching out. I saw this on my feed at first, and I was like, "Oh, that's a really cool mod that someone decided to do it." I didn't realize it was actually Capcom's.
So you just gave Capcom some props.
I instantly thought, yeah. I mean, it looks good. This is funny. So we had the Ghost and Goblins final boss M. Bison costume that was revealed and now already released.
It makes
so they
sense.
decided to follow it up with Arthur from Ghost and
I
Goblins.
feel like they should have did a Kuma and Ryu instead.
No, because Bison really is. He's like the evil boss. Like Akuma's the secret boss.
So like, I wonder if he V triggers, the wing comes out.
Oh, I
That
have
would
no
be pretty
idea.
cool.
No idea. But I just know this was the best part. That's why I laughed at first. I saw it. I was like, oh, that's funny. It's an Arthur.
Buff Arthur.
Yeah. So.
Arthur
I mean, I don't know what more to say. My man's got the hearts in the shorts. We've seen this. We saw this in Marvel for 7 years. I guess we're still seeing it in Street Fighter now.
This is when Arthur isn't an old man and he's at his prime.
That was how he used to, before that picnic in the beginning of that game where he was just chilling with the girl. He was just like, yeah, I have my days. I'm just chilling now. And then she gets swept up, and I was
he's like, oh,
it's like back to it.
it's like I don't got as much meat as I used to on me, but it's okay.
So we got the release schedule was sent out for each piece. So remember, you have to get every single piece in order to get the complete costume. If you miss one event, unfortunately, you miss the entire costume until maybe they decide to do some sort of weekend or
They
week
haven't
of
really
like
done yet.
No, they haven't yet. Maybe they'll do it in some sort of anniversary.
Or better yet, they'll probably just sell it to you.
I don't know about better yet.
Capcom would do it.
It's all about that dough, right? So you can get the leg starting on the 7th, which will be tomorrow or today by the time you listen to this podcast. The 7th to the 14th. From the 14th to the 21st is the arms. The 21st to the 28th is the chest. And the 28th to the 5th of July is the beard and helmet. Make sure to keep that on your calendars if you're a fan of Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, whichever one. Definitely keep that in line. And also they got some challenges as well to kind of get you with your fight money, get your quick 37,500 total between the two matches.
I might have to do that.
From the 14th to the 21st. Yeah, is the two matches. So yeah, I mean it looks good. It's funny that they're paying homage to. I mean maybe because anniversary of Street Fighter now they're like paying homage to their older games. They've been doing it. They did that with Guile and the Mysterious Soldier, with Bison, with Ryu. Who else had like a really old school costume?
Vega had his old school costume where he was. You remember we just did it last week.
Was it last week?
So he had his old original Bull Rider costume.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they had that. But were there any other costumes that were callbacks to Capcom games?
Was it the Zeku or was it Zeku had a costume that was the E Honda one?
But that's the professional one. That's just dropped. Yeah, that was just. I don't think it's E Honda. It was just because it was Japanese themed. It was maybe an homage to E Honda.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, they haven't really had anything else.
Yeah, I don't think past that off of quick memory anyway. But no, this one looks good. Looking forward to many more. Arthur Ryu. I wonder they should give Ken something like in lines with that.
Can I just get his old cowboy outfit back?
No. And you know what? Funny enough, Cody's classic costume kind of is just a callback to Final Fight.
What's Ken's classic outfit? Is the one with the shorts and the shirt?
Ken's classic?
Yeah, in this game.
Alpha.
Oh, with the one with the
yeah, Alpha.
I feel like I never see it enough.
You don't. Oh no, you'll see that one more than you'll see Ryu's Alpha one because Ryu's Alpha one looks a little weird. His hair is like.
That's why you just wear buff Ryu.
Yeah. So with that, that's actually going to end our Fighters Corner, and now we're going to head into our randoms of the FGC. When we're going to talk about little snippets here and there, things we hear around the water cooler. Nothing too wild. So Meza posted up. I didn't know if I wanted to post it up, but
dude, I saw
posting the poster up.
I'm sorry, you were late when I saw it because
I saw it. I just was like. It's great artwork. I could appreciate the artwork. I was like, did we really put up? I mean, why not? Like, it is dope-ass artwork. Summon of Power, the promotional poster has been released for, I think it's this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
Okay.
They already got their flights out. Can we just state, I love how Goichi's still in the front. I don't care what anybody says. He's still
Sonic Fox looks like he's the biggest, though.
Nah, but you
got look at the scale.
Normal boy Goichi right now. This is normal boy Goichi. This isn't imperfect Goichi.
Well, no, he's got perfect stuff.
Nah, he got trumped last week, and he's not perfect anymore. That is normal boy Goichi.
Okay.
You see his head? He's not green or anything.
We got two cells here fighting right here. It's hard for me to also tell every single person.
Yeah.
Goichi, Leffen, Dagora.
I see the Chris
G. No. They reverse.
That's supposed to be Apology Man, yeah.
No, is this not Apology Man?
Oh, what is happening? Who's the other Piccolo? Is that
I'm not sure. Cloud 805.
Oh, that might be Reynald, right?
You might be right. You might be right, actually. No, Reynald, I think he's the Bardock right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the kill stage is in the back with the Android 16.
Yes. Of course, Sonic Fox can easily tell that. What's her name?
Yohoshi.
Yohoshi. Yep. With the
Wait, who's the adult Gohan on the left then?
I can't remember.
Is that there's don't forget there's I forgot his name, how to say it. It's like Fernetti or Finretti.
That one combo breaker?
Yeah, no, he didn't win. He got into the Summon of Power through combo breaker.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they already
Finretti.
the ones in front of him already instantly had the actual what's it called, invitation. That's right. Yeah, I cannot remember every single one.
I just think it's such a dope picture to portray it like that because it looks like an actual. It actually.
Sorry, I was looking at the.
No, you're good. It actually looks like an anime that I would want to watch.
It's very dope.
Super dope. Like.
So wait, which one's Lord Knight? Is this Lord Knight?
Well, he shouldn't be Trunks, but yeah.
No, Lord Knight's Trunks. Yeah, Lord Knight plays Trunks.
Not anymore.
Oh, well, at the time of this.
Yeah, at the time.
At the time of this, yeah, we don't know. So.
Yeah, I think it was just like it was what it was at the time.
I'm just going off the top, the ones I could just tell.
Because that's definitely Kazunoko right there, like next to Dagura.
The Goro? Oh, this is Kazunoko?
No, on the right.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say. I'm like, hold up. Yeah, still, dope ass picture.
Yeah, I don't even care
everybody there should have every competitor should get a poster of that. Like,
I can't lie. Sonic Fox looked like the biggest antagonist of this whole picture.
Well, he basically is. So yeah, Beyond the Summit poster. It is available now. You can go purchase it if you want to get it. Go for it. Support. I think if you buy, just like before, if you buy from their shop, goes towards the prize pot. Helps the competitors get a little more change in their pocket.
I'm waiting for the first person to get everybody that was part of Summit to sign that and then just sell it.
Oh yeah, that's
gonna go
sell
for
it. I mean, I don't know where it is.
I wouldn't sell it.
I wouldn't buy it. Sorry, I wouldn't buy it.
I would sell one of them to like.
I wouldn't buy it, and I'm like.
You wouldn't buy it and have it framed?
No, no. You know what's weird, and it's a constant thing in the FGC. It's like the one thing our scene does is. As much as cool as it is, as there are the gods of the games, right? The ones that are just competitively good. Okay, eventually, that's not where I'm going with this, man. Like they're like the ones that everyone looks up to, the Daigos, the Justins, the Sonic Fox, all that. But like, even with all that fame, being on TV, being Punk, being in the ads for HyperX and GameStops all over and stuff like that, Be the Alpha, all that junk. It's weird. I don't see them as like celebrities or anything because it's like any day you could go to a tournament and they'd be right there.
Yeah.
Like, Punk comes here all the time and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? How's your fam? How's everything? Oh, that's what's up. That's good. Where you going?
Dope,
Why'd you get bodied? Like I'll tell them because it's just weird because at the same you could be
because we're in it so long.
For one, that and two is like the FGC doesn't really separate that. Like that's that esports mentality where
which I think is good.
It is good because that's what keeps us grassroots, right? That's what that's how it was. It didn't matter who you were in the arcades. You put your quarter up, we were equal. That's it. Like on the gameplay, that it didn't matter. I don't care if you were the best where you're from. You're just some guy that put a quarter up, so I'm just gonna play you. And then afterwards, it was the same. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I wouldn't buy it because I'm like, that's weird.
I would buy it like for the like if it was like handcrafted. Somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna redraw it for you. Handcrafted special.
That's cool.
Like a scroll or
that's
something.
That's different. But like buying a poster, like
people are gonna do that though.
If any of them, okay, even if it was Daigo and he signed his book, I'm like, that's cool.
That's cool. Like
but I won't be like.
No,
I wouldn't freak out. I couldn't do that.
Maybe this is my second year. If it was my second year into the community, I'd be like, okay, I can fanboy a little bit. But at this point, I'm like, I enjoy the art for what it is now.
They're just another player. It's just another player. In my eyes, they're just another player. There you go.
They're gonna fall one day.
There you go. Sorry, I know that was like a big rant on that, but
it's
So actually, you know what? This probably should have been part of Soul Calibur, but it's kind of our little pre-E3 subject. So there's been rumors rolling around. It's E3 season, so there've been like 20 different leak lists now. Which, by the way, the one that had DMC5 in it, and then Capcom registered the domain for Devil May Cry 5. I made sure I saved that list. I was like, ooh, that list looks kind of right now. I think on that same list, I gotta double check, but I know there was a list that showed Final Fantasy characters being guest characters in the new Soul Calibur. Sure, that's like, I mean,
it has to happen.
It's possible because it's Soul Calibur. They'll let anyone in. It's not anyone in, but they don't care where the boundaries at, where they're from, right?
You're probably getting in.
But 2, it's Bandai Namco, which they already have. We've already crossed that line.
Yeah.
Noctis is in Tekken, so that's Final Fantasy into a Bandai Namco game. It's already happened before. B, I know I said 2. This is C. Soul Calibur 2 for the PlayStation 2 originally was supposed to have Cloud in it. And ended up with Heihachi.
Is that why Aragi's God Bless the Ring got like all the Final Fantasy characters?
I think so. Yeah, Aragiz. It's not the first time we've seen. And This City was not the first fighting game that had a Final Fantasy character in it. And it was funny enough. Those same 3 characters are the ones that are being rumored: Cloud, Sephiroth, and Tifa. We don't know whether that's going to be confirmed. We'll find out in E3. That was on the list. I thought that was rather interesting. Yeah. It'd be cool. I wouldn't mind it because
I love it.
Because Cloud, Sephiroth, they're weapon-based characters. Tifa got fists and all that, but we got characters like that use Tonfa sticks and all that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of these characters. So what I feel like people fail to realize is, like, even in mobile games, there's a lot of Final Fantasy characters that are crossed over into mobile games, even if it's just for a little bit.
I don't know how we got to mobile games, but
no.
Really.
Well, I'm saying it like as in like there's no real standard.
Yeah, there's no reason why not.
You can't cross over into.
I mean,
big.
Also with Dissidia. Oh wait, was that? No, that's Team Ninja that worked on Dissidia, right? Yeah, it's Team Ninja. I'm thinking even that, like, for some reason helped them crossroads. But Noctis is in Tekken 7. There's no reason why we couldn't have Final Fantasy characters in Soul Calibur as well.
I think it'll be interesting to see them appear with amongst all those other like random ass characters already in the game, and supposedly Spawn's supposed to be in there too.
It's because he got the new movie and all that.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens.
And on a quick note, this is kind of like an indie plug-in. Terradome, Reign of the Legends. It's an indie-developed game that's basically all the horror classics that you remember. Not just horror classics like Dracula, Frankenstein. I feel horrible. That's the only the first 2 I think of. Sasquatch. So we kind of go a little further than that, like Van Helsing, all that kind of stuff.
Leatherface was in it too, I believe.
Was it Leatherface?
Leatherface is supposed to be in this game because so I can give you a little bit of history. Originally, this game was made by a different company. And I guess the new guy who actually hit us up on Twitter, he contacted us, let us know that he was going to be creating it, redoing it. I guess.
He's working on it. He's on the team working on it.
I guess they're rehashing it back out as a better game.
Yes.
So, and you can see they never had anything like this in depth. It looks way, way worse. I don't know if it's even going to be in 3D this time around.
It is. It's going to be a 2.5D game, so it's 3D characters on a 2D plane. So the trailer is just basically showing off a lot of the weird. Okay, that's actually real creepy.
That really is. I'm not okay with that.
Showing all the other characters that you're going to potentially see in there as soon as it decides to show it. But yeah, this is something that's currently being kickstarted.
Looks completely different.
Oh yeah, it's
because originally it was a 2D fighter.
Oh, completely 2D?
Yeah. So the original version of this game was just strictly a 2D fighter that they created. And this is phenomenal for how far it's jumped up to, because this makes me like feel like it's one of those mystery games for sure. I'm gonna see at like.
You're definitely gonna see this on the side. It looks like it's being created by a bunch of guys that love the FGC or love fighting games in general, putting a lot of passion behind it. It looks dope. It is, like I said, this is completely kickstarted right now. A little bit of NRS
Maybe it's
feel,
just the characters,
but it's early beta. It's early beta, so yeah, you get to pick from plenty of different characters: Van Helsing, Neverman, Frankenstein, Sasquatch. This. I guess like that's a joke of it, but that's an acronym: Tactical Hybrid Ingestion System, Bloody Mary, the White Lady, Dracula. It's cool because they have all the lore history for each of the characters. Wendigo.
I'm definitely gonna play Bloody Mary. She looks.
If you're much of a D&D fan, you know damn well what a Wendigo is right off the bat. Mr. Hyde, Mr. Hyde seems to change from an old timely man from Up the movie to some sort of Korean model. I don't know, but it looks cool. And one of the cool things about it is that if this gets fully funded, Cassie Hack, which is an actual character from Hack Slash, a known comic series, a pretty has like a cult following. She kind of encompasses the what is it? The babysitter or the victim in these horror movies, but instead of being a victim, she like fights back. So she actually kills instead. It's actually pretty dope. So yeah, we're putting it out because actually we came across it. I wanted to talk about it last episode. I just not say I forgot it. It's just it kind of fell under my radar. But then, like you said earlier, one of the people that are helping develop this game hit us up on Twitter. For one, said thank you for like putting him back in. He's kind of been out the FGC, then decided to listen to
About
us.
2 years.
Thank you for listening. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad that the podcast or the show has helped you in any way, shape, or form. I say it almost every other podcast. I don't know who would listen to us, but y'all do.
Dude,
y'all think you
some
guys
people
like it?
just notice,
That works
and
for me.
It's awesome.
But check out Terror Dome on Kickstarter. It is still open to go fund. It could be, the next best thing. Could be the next Skullgirls done right.
You know I'm going to invest in it. I'll play the weird game.
The indie master himself.
You got me on it, so.
Next is the plug-and-play master himself. So we got hardware talk. So we got some tech from Meza here, literal tech from Meza here that he wants to share with you guys on this week's episode. Let me actually just bring them up real fast.
I know you guys said before, man, you're just telling me about all these sticks and stuff. What about the pad players? Guess what? I got something for you pad players. Yes. So kicking off, obviously, with the Hori Fighting Commander 3 gamepad. This pad is out of production, unfortunately. But
it's been around the block.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a common one to see.
It's still around.
Yeah.
A lot of people have customized it so that it does work on the PS4. You will be able to work it on the PC as well. They've done in-depth customization. I think the D-pad is one of the best parts about it.
It's a very tactile feeling.
Exactly, yeah. And the biggest important part is it's like the original Sega controller. It has all 6 buttons on the front.
But then it has the weird thing where it's like not weird, but it's like for certain feeling. Like you see it a lot of times where pad players will have the controller set up here, but then will kind of be in like stick setup like that. This pad is kind of formed to that where it's got a longer left side for you to put your put your controller here and kind of hold it, but then like enough of a grip that you could just don't have to worry about extra weight on the right side because that's that extra rumble pack or whatever on that other side. No, it's like light on the other side, so you can just like you won't tire your left hand as much.
No.
This because this might tire you out eventually.
No, definitely. I definitely think it will. But something to note, guys, I'm not going to tell you just to pick up this controller because it's a good controller or anything like that. I'm going to give you the real. This controller does, after wearing, it has a lot of wear and tear on it. It will break very easily after probably about a year's worth of playing solid. My brother's has gone through 2.
I'm about to say, your brother did have this.
So far, everybody who's played on it, they really like it. They said it's really solid for Street Fighter and some other games. So this is something you're going to look at. It's a little cheap. It's around that $40 mark. So you could definitely a little bit higher, depending because it's out of production. So
if you get it in a good quality.
Try to go through some underground sources if you can get it.
Real quick before we move to the next one, shout out to Frankie Cisco being loud as shit over some Jenga over there because Kyle keeps ducking them. The new esports.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
wait,
speaking of Pokken,
did you see the match between Tokido, Hungry Box?
For the Jenga thing?
Yeah.
That's like from a while ago.
Dude,
yeah,
that was dope.
The funny shit, we were
that.
doing that here for Go for Broke like the week or so before that. Then it showed up. Originators, guys, you heard it first. But anyway, Pokken Tournament Pro Pad.
Obviously, you guys know I've played Pokken for a while. But this controller, obviously, it doesn't just work on the Wii U or Switch. It also works on the PS4, surprisingly.
Actually, I did not know that.
Yeah, it works on the PS4. So if you like playing Tekken, I kind of directed this a little bit towards more of the Tekken players. Or if you like playing Street Fighter, the D-pad's really solid. It unfortunately doesn't have that tactile feel, but the one thing that you're going to like is the smooth, fluid motion of it. You're also going to like the buttons. The buttons are a little bit, they look
a little bigger.
Yeah, they are. And it's kind of nice because you're away from the start button, and the start button isn't right next to that, where you're trying to do stuff on a pad. But you also have the top left and right trigger, so if you do play, 6-button stuff, still good. If you want like a quick super or something like that for Rage Art, you have it right there next to it. So it's a very flexible pad, and it's very durable. Very durable. It takes about almost a year and a half to run through it, and it's cheap. So that's a really good thing. You could pick up 2 of these.
That's the key word right there.
Cheap. So if you guys,
that's what I like to hear. As soon as I hear like these controllers, cheap.
cheap.
This car stereo, cheap. This date, cheap. I'm like, I'm in there. Yes, that is my word.
Unfortunately, you won't be able to play it on Xbox One unless you get like a converter, which we've talked about in past few episodes. But who plays anything on Xbox One anymore? So
allegedly, DMC5 might be an Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah, all right. I'll be knocking down Sony's doors.
Hope not.
Well,
I said that. Initial J instantly looked at me like, bro, don't play with me. Like, he actually got mad at me for 2 minutes. And I'm like, that's just what I heard, bro. What do you want from me?
So if you guys do have the money for it and to drop something that's not along the lines of the normal, the Scuff Impact Custom Controller, this is something I've actually gotten to play with, hanging out with the Gears of War guys and all this other stuff. This controller...
I'm going to make the most obnoxious-looking controller ever.
So this controller is very customizable on their website. You can beef it up to about 200 to almost 230. But the thing is, they give you full flexibility with colors. You get to even change the D-pad itself to, if you don't want that D-pad, you want more of a rounder. Because some people like to play with the analog stick. You can actually switch the D-pad into a Scuff D-pad. But if you're looking for using, keeping the basic D-pad, you can also switch the analog stick to a concave or a convex stick. So if you're looking for something a little crazy.
It's like a Joker pad is what I just made.
This is like your most customizable
This
pad.
actually is. Wow. Even changed. What?
Exactly. So you know how there's some people who prefer to play on an analog stick, but they want that more like analog
that is
feel
weird.
where D-pad would be?
You can decide to even have the actual rumble
off,
motors
which is important because some people hate that. Some people hate that. It affects them.
I like my controllers to kind of have a little heft to them, man. I don't know who would ask for rumble off. That's been a standard in controllers since Star Fox 64 when the rumble pack was first introduced. Son.
Yo, plug that in or don't plug it in. It's
like,
your choice.
It's a standard. I mean, but I get it in competitive. Like, some guys might just look at Luffy. Luffy plays on a PS1 no analog stick controller.
And it's light as hell,
too. And exactly. If you play those OG PlayStation 1 controllers, there was nothing to them. There was no rumble. There was no analog. It was it was so cheap.
But
sick enough to win Evo, apparently.
Yeah. So one other thing, guys, is you probably saw Dre going through it earlier. The tactile hair-paired triggers. These things are badass, in my opinion. If you are a type of player who prefers to use, you don't want to hit those for, maybe if you're a Tekken player, you know how you put in that tiger claw, you're on top, and you're playing like this on your kind of on your leg. Instead of doing that, you can put it on the hairpin triggers on the back. You can change them into your actual buttons.
Face buttons, yeah. So you can. Wow. This is a very, very custom for consoles. This is the most customizable pad out there, I think. And the actual UI for it, pretty easy. Once again, I know you guys are listening on the podcast aren't able to see this, but if you actually go check out Scuff Gaming and look for Scuff Impact Custom Controller and look at the entire UI. I managed to customize this thing from being a nice black sleek controller to probably the worst looking putrid neon color controller out there. Yeah. With probably the worst button set. But I was able to do it in the span of Meza talking, which is pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah.
But man, $233.50 just to add on.
Like I said, you can buff it up.
There's something between buff and what added to it? Was that
so that was with the D-pad
controllers
change?
Rumbles out is an extra $4?
It costs money because they got to take it out of it.
Dude.
Yeah.
But then what? Is color, is the also, well, this isn't changing.
No, that doesn't cost anything.
Oh, okay.
It's,
where the hell did the cost come from? From the paint?
No, so it's from, if you go up to the.
It does. It comes from the paint, too.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's from the Scuff thingies on the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
$20 for a grip blue.
Well, okay, so there's a reason behind it. Like I said, I got to play a lot with the Gears of War guys. They have controllers like this. That's the Scuff grip. That's real grip.
It's an actual texture that you're adding to it.
So if you ever sweat and you feel like you can't hold on to your controller enough, or
gotcha,
just anything, this gives you that firm grip behind it.
That firm grip. Firm grip. Got it.
This guy. But do keep in mind. My favorite part is the hairpin triggers because you can customize that.
That is pretty
L2,
cool.
R2s.
Even for PC, that's really cool. Yeah. Get your macro on kind of deal. So it's pretty dope.
It's not only towards only fighting game players. Obviously, this is more originated for the FPS shooters. Those guys is mostly playing it. But if you want a controller just for something real chill, real laid back, maybe you're playing quick time action games such as Detroit Become Human. Awesome game.
Good plug-in. Good plug-in. Is that what you've been playing lately?
Dude, we did a whole run through.
Oh, okay.
We did 12 hour straight up.
I heard you can get through that game in half an hour if you do everything bad.
If you kill everybody, yes.
Spoilers.
Sorry guys. Kill 2 characters. I'm not going to tell you what
character. Don't say who, yeah.
Kill certain characters and it'll be easier.
Detroit become short.
But yeah, this controller, if you have the money, I highly suggest it. It is worth the investment because also you can always send it back in and get some things fixed if you need it.
There's a warranty for it?
Yes, there should be a.
I hope so.
I believe a
$200-something.
2-year warranty.
There better be a warranty added to that.
So,
But go check it out, Scuff Gaming, for their custom controllers, FPS monsters, and the like. And that's gonna do it for your plug and play, man. You ain't got nothing more?
No, they don't. They wanted D-pads. They wanted the pad players that I gave it to you.
We're gonna have something special for the stick guys as well. One of the many steps that I gotta take because I got my magenta stick coming in the mail already.
You did, huh?
Oh yeah, it's already.
Because I remember you said you ordered it. I thought it would be here by now.
Oh no, it was already. Yeah,
It's like a
here.
full, like,
I
14 days.
just haven't. I gotta build my stick, which that video is gonna come up soon. So with that, we're actually going to go right into our focus attack. So this week, where we're going to actually look at a certain subject. If you're new, I actually don't know what focus attack is when we usually ask a question, or we're talking about a certain subject that we're kind of really get into the details with and kind of have you thinking about. This week, it being E3, we're not doing like a coverage or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, the FGC is not immune to the E3 hype. Developers definitely still like to send stuff out and show stuff out at E3 because that's where the most eyes are at. Because as much as we are the competitive fighting game scene,
We're not the
remember,
best.
we're this amount in the grand scheme of things, right?
I love that. I honestly do.
That's
Because
why
when we get something that goes through, we're like, damn, we did it.
yeah, right? It was us. It was us.
We're important people now.
So a while back, we didn't report on this because we were kind of waiting to see if it was going to line up. A while back, Ed Boon, being the troll that he is, loves to go on Twitter, talk about characters, talk about releases, and possibly events. About, I want to say it was a week, maybe even 2 weeks ago, Ed Boon was asked by a fan, like, hey, you know what would be cool for E3? Injustice 2 Season 4. And he replied. He was like, all he said was, you know what else would be cool? And you're like, oh, well, what's the big deal, Crash? He just said cool. But he said cool with a K. With a motherfucking K, son. You know what that means?
I know what that means. He's doing what he always does.
He does what he does.
And
He trolls what he's best at, which is troll. If there was a troll award for developers, Boone should win. Right next to Bushy Brows. Like, he wins every time.
He does a great job at it. I'm not going to lie. He really does.
So MK11 being what's kind of been in the hype for a lot of people is because a lot of pieces are lining up.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, NRS games tend to they've developed a traditional life gauge or a lifetime before the next game gets announced. It started with MK9, MK9 to Injustice. From Injustice, we then saw when MKX was announced was a certain tradition. So Injustice was announced a week before E3. Then when Injustice became gold, as in there was the Ultimate Edition where you can buy all the DLC, everything in one pack, right? That got released one year. The following year, a week before E3, MKX got announced.
Did get announced.
MKX was announced. MKX did its whole run all the way to MKXL, which had that version where everything was in it, right? Guess what? Week before E3, Injustice 2 got announced. Injustice 2 has gone completely gold. Like, it is now a full DLC version you can get for everything. That was announced last November, or it was released last November.
I got a bad feeling.
It's a week before E3, and we got that tweet 2 weeks ago.
I got a bad feeling. My bad feeling is, you remember Mortal Kombat versus DC?
Yeah, I know. But we learned from that.
I think my bad feeling is I think people are going to be expecting MKX or
MKX11. Yeah, 2 L's.
But I think they're going to get MK versus DC too.
No.
But I think it's going to be better.
You know what's funny? I didn't think about that.
I think it's going to be better because they've been working really hard on both games.
Okay, well, B, you know what? I like where your head's at because one, we've come a pretty long way since the MK versus DC because there was a lot of things about DC, the versus series for that was really stupid. Like, WB had a pretty hard grip. Remember, this is before Injustice was a thing. So DC had a really big grip. Like, Superman's emblem couldn't even be scratched. Yeah. Right? Heroes couldn't do fatalities or anything that could potentially hurt someone fatally.
they're
Unlike
heroes.
the MK, they had hero brutalities versus, well, technically Joker had a fatality because he shot, he would shoot you in the face, which ended up being a fatality for Shang Tsung in MKX. Was it X?
Yeah, I think it was X.
9. Sorry, not X.
Was it 9?
Because he wasn't in X. MK9 where he turned into the clown, a random clown, and shot you in the face and your whole you know.
I guess that was their way of saying you can't stop us.
So but since then, Injustice has come out. Injustice has been shown that it could have battle damaged heroes. Heroes are people too. They can do mean things. Superman straight up lobotomized and killed Shazam in a cutscene. You know, the veil has kind of been thrown back now, right?
Yeah.
So what you bringing up DC2, which damn it, I hate that you did because now you threw off my entire train of thought. I didn't even think about that. There is potential because there is still potential in the sense that the DC side can now kind of meet MK in a certain level, but we can't get to that fatality still. Like, it will never get to that.
I know we can't.
And especially after MKX, like how awesome that looked, how great of a game that was.
You had to kill everybody.
Like, everyone was murdered in some of the most brutal ways in Mortal Kombat history. So I'm like, I get
right
what
there.
you're at.
It's getting there.
I get where you're at, but I want to say no because MK11 is just being asked for, and I don't see any reason why not because MKX left a lot of doors open, a lot of endings that showed recurring characters. And actually, MKX had an open ending where, spoilers if you haven't played the game, Liu Kang and Kitana become the Netherrealm's rulers. And Raiden, you know, literally throws a decapitated Shinnok and said, this is a warning. Do not invade Earthrealm. Right? Like, we've shifted to a point where now it's like, where do they go from there? Kung Lao is still dead. Liu Kang's still dead. Kitana's still dead. Sindel's still dead. What is it? Striker, Cabal, like characters. Some of those characters we didn't even get to see in MKX.
True.
We got to see them in the game. Frost, we got to see her in it, completely done, but she wasn't playable. You know, MK11 is that chance for them to kind of, you know, fix that.
Now, yeah.
Get rid of the Alien, the Predators, the Jasons. Like, they did that. It was good, great.
I don't think we need any more, like,
of those guest characters.
I think if we're going to get guest characters, I think it needs to be, I hate to say it, I don't see them not doing Injustice characters as guest characters, but it has to be the darker characters. So it can't be like superheroes. I think we're going to get more villains.
Like villains?
Because at least you can kill villains.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we might get
You
Joker.
won't feel as bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you'll get Joker. You'll be like, oh, man, he died. Okay, like that. That makes sense.
He's already dead in Injustice anyway. Okay.
He deserves it.
So with that, I actually have a couple of things I want to throw at you. So what would, like, did you, like, I can't remember. I know you did play MKX.
Yeah.
And you are familiar with the NRS series, but, like, I don't think you went, like, as in-depth as I did. Not to call you out, but, like, I really competed in those games. In 11, are there certain things you would want to see?
Like gameplay-wise or just, like...
I mean, are there... that's kind of... All right, that's kind of, like, I guess, a general question.
I can give you my general statement.
We can go in specifics, like, all right, variations. MKX had the variation system where technically one character was really 3 different characters, quote unquote, or rather 3 different playstyles, because instead of having an entire kit of what this character had, they split that kit into 3, so you had different ways to emphasize different styles of play, which to some characters was great because it made them more versatile. Some characters, they have maybe 1 or 2. The more common ones, 1 or 2, and then the third one that you really didn't see because it just wasn't as good. Because, let me see, 33 characters, I think, in MKX. I think it was 33. So that's like 99 technical characters in there. And on top of that, it was very in-depth because you wouldn't just learn, I'm going to learn the Quan Chi Shinnok matchup or the Katana Quan Chi matchup with Royal Storm or with just Katana. It would be Royal Storm versus Summoner. Royal Storm versus, what's the other version he had? Let's go with Shinnok. The bone variation, the imposter variation, which was really like a Shang Tsung type of variation. You were learning multiple matchups for the same character, which for me, I thought it was fun because it kind of gave me that flexibility that I could change a different style. Like if I was Cassie Cage, I could play Spec Ops, or I can play Brawler, or I can play Hollywood. Yeah, like depending on the style, right? I could be more zoney or I could be more aggressive. I was a big fan of variations. I actually really liked what they did with variations. You can knock them on saying, well, there were times where I hated dealing with alien acidic or something like that. Like, sure, if that was like the most strongest one, you would see the most common variation. You would learn that one.
Or like when you had to deal with Devore or something
like that. Yeah,
but
then how great was it to see guys that were bringing out variations that you didn't see often and then do well with? When Liu Kang, the light and dark one, the Shaolin one, when that one started making its rounds, they were like, holy shit. Like Silver Eye, a Philly, I think, or New Jersey player, one of the two.
Jersey.
Known for his Liu Kang when I first came into the scene. Now he's with Method, and he still kills it in NRS games. But like he was the one that kind of pioneered the Liu Kang style out here in Philly at the very least. I hated it because when I played Sonya, I was like, what is this shit? Or like the flaming one, he would like have the flame cancels and stuff. And I'm like, this is Scorpion Hellfire all over again, right?
23% of your life.
Yeah, like it just
from blocking.
Yeah, from blocking. Like from
which
blocking.
is crazy in its own. But
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would love to see variations again.
I want to see variations. I did talk with some people about it, especially Pierce had me thinking. He said, I really like MK, X, but I would maybe want to see like 2 variations instead of 3, because it felt like there was a lot of balancing and some things just was useless. Like I remember when Sub-Zero first came out and they had not the master one, but I think it was like Icebreaker.
The weapons one.
Yeah,
that one wasn't used for the earliest part of the MKX.
There was only like 2 people using him, and they were like, and then he got buffed, and he was like somewhat.
Then you kind of saw it a little bit more often.
But
yes,
I felt like if they're gonna do it this time, they have to kind of. If we're getting new characters and we're getting a bunch of new styles, variations within those for some of those characters, 2 variations will do for now.
Yeah,
I think 2 will be fine. I don't think we need 3. The biggest thing that I would like to see, because like I did talk with Shock from Combat Network, and it was always a cool character to me. I like Sindel. I do like her a lot.
Who never got to see at MKX.
And he made me like actually enjoy watching the character in UMK3 Gold Edition. So I was like, oh crap! I was like, she just does stuff, and he's like, yeah, she does a lot of things. So it was pretty cool to see that. And I think for me at least, I was learning how to play Striker in UMK3. So for me, I felt like there was a few characters that would have been nice to see. I do want to see some returning characters. I think my biggest thing is the mechanics of the game can never change, because I think I like the mechanics that was part of MKX. I didn't feel like interactables were too much, like Injustice 2.
No, it's the other way. MKX kind of fixed the interactables because they were first added. Well technically MK4 had interactables technically.
Yeah, true.
But in Injustice, they were unblockable most of the time. MKX, they became blockable. Sure, with the still frame data, you learn like, oh, you're plus if you use this interactable. Sure, that's okay. That's expected, because if you're like go enough for their opponent lets you go enough to like press a button and kind of get in that state and not block for that or not prepare for that, then they have to eat that. But they weren't unblockable, so they made it in the right. And then from there, Injustice 2 was like, oh, yep, we did it right. We can block them. That's the better way to go. In Injustice 2, there were still some unblockable ones. There were very little of them, a very like tiny amount of them. But in MKX, they definitely went the right route with it. I would like to see them back in 11. I don't really care actually technically both ways if they do show up, but
keep the
I'm
cast
down.
big. Keep the cast to what it was before. I definitely like that.
Bring back. Yeah, I want to say bring back some of those cast members, because, like I said, we got to miss certain characters. Because I want to say like not the dead ones, because Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Katana, they were dead, but they were fully playable regardless. Like the Revenant forms were in the story, but they were still playable. But then certain characters like Sindel, Cabal, Striker,
that were wanted and should have been in the game.
Smoke got put in at the end by Triborg, but it was like weird variation.
Was in it, right?
Triborg, it was Cyrex, Sector, Smoke, and Sub-Zero. So technically,
they varied them.
Technically quad bore if you want to get technical with it, but they didn't say that. There's still some characters that can definitely show up still. I would like to see that. I would like to see those returning characters. I would definitely like to see some of the ones like Scarlet from 9. I would like to see her and come back. I thought she was actually by the end, not the end of 9, but like she was not a great character, but I think the variation system could work out for her. If she could excel in one thing and not the other, depending on the variation. She has that kit that lets her do that, like a blood kit or like a blood variation or something like that.
I don't want them to vary it too much. Like I like when we had the Jade like variation. Like we had small little variations of characters that we.
But here's the thing, like that one, the mournful. Yeah. That was mournful variation for Katana. You didn't really see that often. Yeah. It was basically the closest thing you got to Jade, because Jade was dead and she didn't come back. Bring her back. Take that away from Katana. Give her Jade 2 variations or something like that.
So like bring back characters that kind of like should have gotten more shine. Because if
Nightwolf, another one.
Wait, why wasn't he in the game? Because he was dead.
He was dead. Yep. He used his like spell and MK9 and killed Sindel with him, but he like straight up vaporized. But I think he was a Revenant anyway in MK9. Like you saw him. But you never saw him in MKX, though.
See, that's the thing. If we're going to tone down the 2 variations, then we can bring back more characters, I think.
I like that. Yeah, tone down the variations, but increase the cast.
Yeah,
because it is a balancing act. It is really hard to do that.
3 variations is hard
per
enough.
Character.
2 would be way better. Way better.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
quality, not quantity.
Yeah, I think right now